last thing I want to touch on to further tie in the theme of this Reddit post as well as the screenshots I'm going to show is something that I've kind of briefly spoken about in other videos, which is something that I like to call situational blackness. And, it's pretty self-explanatory if you understand my drift, where I'm going with that. Just when it applies to mixed people, we all know what I'm talking about. There's some mixed people that'll be claimed in certain situations or when it's convenient, or, ones that'll be, have their mixedness or being light skinned used against them, in certain situations because of whatever reason. Like I'm saying, the back and forth, conflicting narratives that are used sometimes, claiming some mixed people but not others, separating people by who their parent is, which one is black and which one is white, just things like that. And so, two very clear examples of situational blackness and to a degree love bombing that I can see used that are kind of that definitely relate to the screenshots that I'm going to show. Two people that I can definitely use as examples would be Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. So if you can remember, when their beef first started, I remember there was kind of this I don't know, it was this racial undertone to it where it was they were trying to do this black women versus Latinas type thing, and it just was not giving what it was supposed to give at all, especially because it was coordinated by online internet trolls. But whatever, I'm not even going to get into that. But it just it really takes me off how they were trying to do that, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, if you ask me, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are both two Afro mixed race women, which in my opinion, I would describe them that way because when you have the Afro part, it's signifying the Afro of African descent, and mixed race, mixed clearly, whatever, that's pretty self-explanatory. So, for a fact they're mixed. You can look at them, see that they're mixed. They have two mixed parents. It's really that simple. But for other people, clearly it's not that simple, because for those of us who have two mixed parents, especially if we're from the Caribbean, seems to be very complicated for people because people have a hard time with the race, ethnicity differences, whatever, potato. But I just see the examples like that being used a lot with them, because I remember always hearing, before Cardi B even came out, always hear people saying, oh, Nicki Minaj bleaches. Oh, she's always trying to say she's Blasian and she's not. Oh, I just always remember people saying that Nicki Minaj was self-hating and that she, was basically bleaching and did not like being black because she was claiming her Blasian heritage. I just always remember hearing people say that. And so it's just so funny to me when people are like, oh my god, well, why don't they just acknowledge that they're mixed? Why don't they just identify as mixed? Why do they have to say that they're black? It's just babes. There's a reason why people don't acknowledge that they're mixed. Why would they, when it's being associated with self-hate and anti-blackness? Why would they? It's you can't go years of doing that and then all of a sudden flip the script and try to say, oh, why aren't people identifying as mixed? It just doesn't make any sense. And so when I show you these screenshots and how they're basically in the screenshots saying that Nicki Minaj is Blasian, meaning, I'm sorry, she's biracial, and that her father is an Indian man, and it's just so funny to me because I just always remember hearing people always trying to gaslight Nicki Minaj about being Blasian when the girl is obviously Blasian. I'm not gonna keep getting into this. And they literally do the same exact thing to Cardi B, because they try to say that she's lying about being half Trinidadian and that, she's lying about being Afro-Latina and stuff like that. And it's very silly, because it's number one, the fact that these people think that they're so important that somebody has to sit up and lie to them about stuff that's their own personal business is honestly rich and fascinating to me, that people really think that their opinion holds so much weight in people's lives, specifically mixed people. people's lives, but people's lives in general, to where they can just do, say stuff like that. Like, nobody has to lie to you, sweetheart. So it's just really rich and funny to me when people do that. But yeah, I'm constantly seeing people constantly invalidating Cardi B about her identity, constantly gaslighting her, constantly saying she's lying. And I think it's just really super toxic. Like, this culture of collectives of people feeling that they are justified and have the right to go out of their way to constantly gaslight and question people about their cultural heritage, and feeling like they can, interrogate people about what they are and say that they're lying, and, just give them a hard time about their identities. And it's like, it's just so entitled. And I find that rich, because don't they say that light-skinned and mixed people are the entitled ones? But they're the ones in people's comment sections demanding that we show them our parents' documentation to prove that they're black. But we're the privileged ones, though. And we're the entitled ones. Like, it's just rich. And the narcissistic delusions of grandeur just never cease to amaze me, because nobody else is asking anybody else to prove how they are. Y'all not getting in white people's comment sections and saying, oh, prove to me that you have Celtic ancestry, prove to me that you have German ancestry. Y'all are not doing that. Y'all only do this shit to Afro mixed race people, and I think that needs to be pointed out.
Child, it looks like the rap girls are going at it again, and this time the beef is between JT and Cardi. I am confusion. Okay. Rappers are subbing each other on Twitter, seemingly about the different remixes they're featured on. News broke that Glorilla and Cardi's Pt2 charted on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 9. Cardi B celebrated the news in a Twitter retweet saying, "Cousin, we made the top 10. As fans caught wind of the accomplishment, some sent congratulatory messages toward Glorilla and Cardi B's way, while others took time to take shots at other artists. A self-proclaimed JT hate page threw shots at JT, Akbar, Bia, and Katie Bands, and JT quickly fired right back. A Cardi fan Twitter page responded to JT's tweet saying, "Girl, this one tickled you. Not congrats, Glow. You know you can't mention Cardi or your massa will get the whip." I'm assuming they were talking about Nicki Minaj. JT quickly responded to that and told them to get off her. Cardi later tweeted Lapdog a clear sub towards JT, and JT clearly caught the sub and tweeted Wiener Dog in response to her tweet. But y'all, the tweets didn't end there. Cardi followed up by tweeting, "Go fetch." Things were quiet between the two for a while, and then we later found out they had been DMing each other. However, JT seemed to catch wind of Cardi B's "Go fetch" tweet and then responded directly to the rapper. And this is what Cardi B said in response to that. Cardi later tweeted that she was done with the Twitter games and logged out. Ladies, can we all just get along?
The whole thing between Cardi B and JT just sounds like a big misunderstanding. But here's the gist of what happened. There are a lot of tweets, so buckle up. It all started when JT congratulated Glorilla on her Pt2 remix featuring Cardi B. The song debuted at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. But then a fan called her out for not congratulating Cardi B on the song. JT replied saying no, the tweet was just too long. And Cardi has seen a lot of success, whereas Glorilla is new to the game. And it's her first top 10 hit. This is where things get messy. Cardi B tweeted Lapdog. Then JT tweets, "I hope you don't think you know bully," as well as Wiener Dog. Cardi B posts, "Go fetch." JT actually replied to that tweet writing, "Cardi, you go fetch a real talent. We're DMing, why are you trying to come back here to put on a show for these kids?" Cardi says, "We're DMing, but you take it to your timeline and throw shots at me calling me a bully and a wiener. Why are you playing dumb and you're talking about a talent? Ha, you forgot P tried to put me on with your writer." Then Cardi says, "I'm done, I'm not doing this on the timeline, it's becoming repetitive. We're addressing it in the DMs, goodbye." But JT completely shut down the accusation that she doesn't write her own music. Hence Cardi referencing her writer. She says, "Ask any writer, I write my own shit, you know this." She tweeted a few more times, "I don't care about no hit, man on my mother, I'm not a slave to Billboard chart or data." She says, "Find a time or a tweet where I talked crazy about Cardi B, you can't." She says, "Today was supposed to be about Glorilla, instead you called me a lapdog." Then Cardi posted a bunch of screenshots showing off her YouTube views. JT says, "Cardi, please, I'm not impressed. I don't care, I'm not about to beef with you about YouTube." Cardi said, "Dude, I hit you in the DM 20 minutes ago, but I gotta come on the timeline for a response." JT says maybe both of our timing is off. How am I an opportunist? You called me a lapdog. And there was this reply from JT. And she blames Twitter for making a problem and Cardi B for running with it. Here are some more of Cardi B's last tweets. And another one. I think this whole situation was a misunderstanding, and I'm pretty sure it's probably squashed in the DMs by this point. Let me know your thoughts down below.
A Twitter beef between Cardi B and JT erupted today. Apparently, it all started because JT posted on Twitter congratulating Glorilla for her song Tomorrow 2 with Cardi B, debuting at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. Fans started calling out JT saying, oh, why didn't you congratulate Cardi as well? So JT said, nah, actually the tweet was too long. Plus, Cardi been having top 10s. I've been congratulating her for years. This is Glow's first time. I've been ignoring y'all, but y'all are hella annoying. Move around and get off my D. Thank you. Then Cardi B posted a tweet that said lapdog and go fetch. Then JT posted and said, I hope you don't think you know bully. Then she said wiener dog. Then somebody tweeted JT and said, not you been waiting. And she said, waiting on what exactly? I literally bother no one. F out of here. Move for real. Then she replied to Cardi B saying go fetch and said, Cardi, you go fetch a real talent. We DMing why you come back here to put on a show for these kids. Then somebody replied to JT saying, Nikki put you up to this? Okay. And she said, no, 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 and no again. See, y'all want to know so bad and be wrong. I don't gotta gossip with her about nobody. All this because of fan pages. Part 2 will be pinned in the comments.
A community post made by Chrissy in response to a video that she made about Cardi B and JT getting into it on Twitter. Nicki Minaj had nothing to even do with this situation, might I add. Not to throw Cardi under the bus, but Nicki had nothing to do with this situation. She had nothing to do with the situation involving involving JT and Cardi B. But anyway, the situation had nothing to do with Nicki Minaj, but Chrissy took it upon herself to make a video, bringing Nicki Minaj into it and calling Nicki Minaj a colorist and a texturist. I'm not trying to go into dark-skinned women's spaces and troll and, trying to police anybody's speech or anything, but I just feel like, it's just not cool. Like, you can discuss the situation and, talk about celebrity tea and things like that without having to, make up fabrications about what people's identities are in order to bring up your point. Because at the end of the day, these women being mixed have nothing to do with the situation at hand. So if we're talking about a beef or a misunderstanding between two women that had to do with Twitter, that had nothing to do with race, nothing to do with skin tone, nothing to do with being mixed, nothing to do with blackness. The exchange had literally nothing to do with race. It was just a misunderstanding. But then somebody makes a video and says, oh yeah, these women are colorists. These women hate other black women. This is what they do. We need to stop supporting them because they're not our sisters and they don't support you. And, basically just fear mongering and putting out the same, stereotypical, narratives about light-skinned women. And it's just very obvious that there's an agenda behind it, even if a lot of the stuff you're saying is true and is honest and I actually do agree with. And it's like I used to actually watch Chrissy's channel because a lot of stuff I do agree with, and that's how I know that I feel like she just has a bias and ulterior motives basically towards light-skinned women, because the fact that you and me are on the same wavelength about a lot of different stuff and we can agree on different stuff shows that you have sense and that you have an awareness about certain stuff. And there are things I would just never say about other black women, whether they be dark skin, brown skin, light skin. I would just never say them or never try to outgroup them or other them. Even on my channel, I try my best to, make everybody feel validated and comfortable and everybody feel heard and understood. I don't try to ostracize or other black women, even when I'm talking about my personal experience. So it's like when I see other black women doing that to light-skinned women or, women that are mixed, it's just like, okay, what is this really about? Because I feel like we can all talk about our experiences and all have a healthy dialogue and talk about how situations made us feel without, making it about who's biracial, who's light skinned, and just saying that people hate other black women when there's no evidence for that. And just because somebody gets into a debate with somebody, why does that automatically mean, or a discussion or an argument, even if it's over some stupid shit, what does that automatically mean that they have an issue with black women? That's another thing that bothers me too. It's like other women fight all the time, other women get into it with each other all the time. Other people go back and forth on Twitter, on YouTube all the time. But when black women and mixed women fight, or when we get into it with each other, or there's some type of negative interaction between us, if we just act like other women, I don't understand why when a light-skinned black woman does something that's not a positive female trait, that's toxic is displaying toxic femininity, all of a sudden it's connected to them thinking that they're better and then being a conceited light-skinned woman, when there's all types of women that do that type of stuff. Like, that's just a toxic feminine thing, that how some women act. And I feel like it's a similar situation with the whole JT and Cardi B situation. But anyway, the situation had nothing to do with Nicki Minaj, but Chrissy took it upon herself to make a video, bringing Nicki Minaj into it and calling Nicki Minaj a colorist and a texturist. And I do not agree with Nicki Minaj's or Cardi B's past colorist and texturist comments. I don't agree with them at all. But at the same time, JT has made colorist and texturist comments as well. Honestly, way worse and way more than Cardi and Nicki ever even said. So this was not the situation to try to make anybody a victim here. None of these women are innocent. None of these women are free from from critique. None of these women are like, a champion for advocacy for anti-blackness or defending black women's image. Like, they're entertainers, they're rappers. That's just what they are. I don't look to rappers and entertainers for my moral compass or to, for my anti-black teachings. Like, I don't use them as examples. I still like JT. I still like Nicki Minaj and Cardi. I still support JT. I still support Carisha, the City Girls. Like, I like both of them. I can acknowledge that all of them have said ignorant stuff and made comments that were not okay and still support them. I'm just not going to throw other black women under the bus, especially now when these colorist ass niggas be out here having long, luxurious careers. I'm not going to throw other black women under the bus. No, I am not. And what's so ironic is that literally when I was in the middle of editing this video, I found another video on YouTube that came from TikTok of a multiracial woman basically talking about exactly what me and this Reddit poster are talking about as well. But she is somebody who is 30% African, and so I guess roughly the other 75% is between Native American and white. So she looks kind of like Kalani to me. I mean, I'm going to show y'all the video, but what she says she's mixed with to me makes perfect sense. Especially if you're Latino or you're from the Caribbean, that she looks like how she's saying she looks. Like, it's just configured a certain way, because that's what Kalani is. Like, I think she's like the same mix, and she looks a lot like this woman to me. But anyway, so she's talking about like that experience and everything, and she did not say, oh, I'm a monoracial black woman, I simply identify as black, I solely as black. She never said that. She literally never said that. She literally acknowledged that she was part black and also part indigenous and part European as well. Like, she identify herself in all of those three things at once. She did not identify herself as singularly African American. And like, she identified herself as mixed. But because, I don't even know, honestly, I don't know why people are triggered, because she's acknowledging she's mixed. But yeah, people are saying, oh, well, you're not black and you're only 30% black, so you're technically a quadroon or octoroon, one of those. I'm not sure. I think quadroon, yeah, that's 3. Yeah, you're a quadroon and you're not black and this and this and that. And like, this is exactly what we be talking about. Like, this is exactly what we be talking about. This woman acknowledged herself as being mixed, and people are just like coming at her for saying that she's black. And I don't feel like she said she's black. I feel like she identified herself as mixed. And this is what we're talking about. Like, even when the person does identify themselves as mixed, just like people say they need to do, people still have an issue with it because she didn't say that she was mixed or identify herself as mixed in the way that they want her to. They feel like she's saying she's black. Like, it's just really strange to me. Like, and I don't know, maybe she did in another video say she's black, but in the clip that I'm about to show, in the clip that I saw, it seemed pretty clear to me what she was saying. I didn't feel like she was trying to say she was just a monoracial black person. Just like I don't think most mixed people, even those of us who are, more significantly more African and more predominantly African, because she's more like, her situation, I feel like that's very unique, and that comes with its own set of struggles too, because it sounds like to me she has two mixed parents, and she's like, she's mixed in quarter, so it's like, it's different because she's very ambiguous. So I empathize with that. It's like when you're a mixed person and you're used to being around mixed people, and you are familiar with mixed people, when you've seen the different looks, people like her don't confuse you or don't surprise you. Like, that makes sense. Now, if she was saying, oh, I'm 75% black, I'm 60% black, okay, then I'd be raising my eyebrows. But it's like, that seems pretty accurate. So I don't really understand all of the huff and puff and all of the outrage. It's like, I don't understand why people think you could look at somebody and just be able to tell their genetic makeup and DNA. You cannot do that, and that's so silly and ignorant to think. And the people who are saying that, especially when they say ignorant stuff like you could tell which one got black moms based on how they look and all this ignorant shit like that, it's just like, it's very, very silly and stupid. Sometimes you can tell, but you really can't. And so it's like, don't get yourself caught up and embarrassed assuming you know something about someone and you really don't. And mixed people shouldn't have to come out and issue statements and show proof of their parents and grandparents. And this is something I'm seeing a lot recently, because Cardi B had to do this as well. Mixed people should not have to come out and make public statements and prove to fucking strangers hiding behind fucking avatars and shit who their identity is, like who they are and what their identity is and what they were raised with, because these people don't fucking know you. So it's like, I understand defending yourself, but it's like, the fact that these people have such narcissistic entitlement that they think they can come to people's spaces and pages and demand that they show them pictures of their family member and show genetic documentation and you know, they be the judge of what you are, is fucking crazy. Like, it is crazy. And they would never let a bunch of mulatto people or Blasian people get in their comment section and say, actually, no, you're not black. You can't say that. You're not Nigerian. You can't say that. No, you're not, you know, like, it would never happen. Like, it just would never happen. And I'm not saying that's every single person who's, you know, monoracial or monocultural, but, you know, a lot of people do have that mindset, I feel like. And it's like, I understand not understanding, but I don't know, sometimes it's like people get really nasty about it, and it comes out in the most weirdest ways, like exactly with the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj thing I'm talking about. It's like, you get into a Twitter argument with somebody, all of a sudden somebody else is firing up a live stream about you, talking about how horrible mixed Caribbean women are. And it's like, wait, where did this come from? Like, I thought this was about a remix. Like, I thought this was a stain war. Like, what's going on? How did it turn into a social justice issue? Like, girl. But anyway, I'm out with my commentary. I've rambled on enough. Thank you for entertaining me. Let me show y'all this video finally of the multiracial woman talking about her experience and expressing her frustration with these fucking weirdos interrogating her about her identity. And even though mixed women, black women, light-skinned women, dark-skinned women, women in general, we don't owe y'all shit. Okay? We don't owe anybody shit, including other women. You don't owe anybody shit. You don't gotta prove shit to anybody. You don't gotta prove anything to anybody. Like, and I that's definitely would be my advice to other mixed people closing out and other light-skinned people. You don't gotta prove jack shit to anybody or explain jack shit to anybody. And people in today's era, they make you feel like you do, even with your political views, where you know, how you choose to align yourself politically, economically, socially, whatever it is. People are mad, judgmental, and nosy, always in other people's business. It's weird and obsessive. Worry about yourself, and that's how you better yourself and grow, instead of worrying about what other people are doing. Like, seriously, and that can be applied to so many different situations. I'm just saying that in this video, but seriously, that can be applied to so many situations. And it's like, I do try, you know, I'm not the oldest, you know, the oldest apple on the tree or nothing. I'm not the wisest old owl, but, you know, I try to give a little words of encouragement and drop a few gems here and there. I think I have a lot of sense for some of my age, and I can maybe, you know, get through to somebody my age that's on the same wavelength as me. But yeah, y'all enjoyed this video and these comments, and you get in the comment section, let me know about what you think of all of this. Are you ethnically mixed, you know, multi-generationally mixed, or even biracial? Let me know what your experiences are. And yeah.
All right, so this is the last TikTok I'm going to be making regarding my ethnicity and the color of my skin. I am black, white, and Native American. I am very racially ambiguous. I know this, so everybody thinks that I'm something different. I'm not upset with anybody that thinks that I'm white, thinks that I'm Hispanic, thinks that I'm whatever. by taking one look at me. What is messed up are the people who are calling me a liar and telling me that I need to give them proof that I'm black. Y'all want to see my parents? Well, I've never met my father, so I have no pictures with him. I could show you pictures of him, but it's not going to be enough for y'all. Y'all are still going to find ways to call me a liar, so what's the point? I could post my ancestry results, right? However, I'm 30% African, mainly Nigerian, and again, I know it's not going to be enough for y'all. There are people out there that are like, oh, if you're not 50% African, then you don't actually count. Sorry. So if y'all want to hate me for being proud of who I am, go ahead.